chapter 2, the polynomial. This is R.S. Aggarwal. First, what is a polynomial? Polynomial, an expression of the form p of x equal to a0 plus a1 x plus a2 x square plus dot dot plus an x to the power n, where an does not equal to 0 is called a polynomial. So this is the polynomial equation when we write it, and always you have to remember an cannot be a 0, and whose degree, what is it? This is the degree equal to n. Degree is n. X to the power n means highest power. Whenever the x highest power, that will be the degree. So here degree is the n. Now these are the example of the polynomial. So this is 3x plus 5 is this is polynomial, and what is this is a polynomial, and here the degree is highest power is this is 1. Power is 1, so it is a degree 1. Here 8x square minus 5x plus 3, this is also polynomial. When an equation is written in the form of x, it is a polynomial, and x have there is a polynomial. Here highest power is 2, so this is its degree will be 2. Now is it a polynomial? This is also polynomial. The number can be in a form of fraction, it doesn't matter, but you have to check the power. Here power is 3, so 2y square y cube plus 4 by 9 y square minus 5y plus root 3 is, this is a polynomial in the form of y. When it is written in the form of x, it will be in the form of x. When the equation is written in y, that will be in the form of y. Only you have to check the highest power. Here the highest power is 3, so it is a degree 3. Now this is 3z power raised to the power 4 minus 5 z cube plus 2z square minus 8z plus 1. This is also polynomial. In which form? It is in the form of z. So and what is its power? Here the power is highest power is 4, so its degree is a 4. Now which will be not a polynomial? When the power of the x is not in the form of natural number. Always remember, in the form of natural number. When the power of x is in the form of a natural number, that is a polynomial. But when x is not, when the power of x is not in the form of natural number, this is not a polynomial. See how it is. If we write this is x square, x root x plus 3 root. What is the meaning of root? Root is a half. Half is not a natural number, so this is not a polynomial. Here also 1 divided by x by 5, it is in a form of fraction. This will be downside. So downside is, if you bring up, it will be minus. The power cannot be a minus. So this is also not polynomial, and this is also not polynomial. Now what is a linear polynomial? A polynomial whose degree is 1 is called a linear polynomial. A polynomial of degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. Always it is written in a form of a linear polynomial is the form of p of x equal to ax plus b, where a does not equal to 0. This is its general form of a linear polynomial, that is p of x is equal to ax square plus b. Here what is the highest power of x? It is written in the form of x. Here the power of x is 1, so therefore it is a linear. The example, you can write the example by your own. Only you have to keep in mind while writing, here the highest power have to be 1. So this is 3x minus 5, here power of x is 1. So this is a linear, this is root 2x plus 3. Root, the number can be root, no problem, only we have to check the power of the x. Here the power of x is 1, so it is a linear. Here x minus 5 by 8, this is also linear because a power of x is 1, so it is a linear polynomial. Now what is a quadratic polynomial? The quadratic polynomial, a polynomial, this is a quadratic polynomial. A polynomial of degree 2, whose the degree is 2, this is a quadratic polynomial. It is written in the general form. This is a quadratic polynomial is of the form that p of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a does not equal to 0. We have to check it here. What is the power of x? Here the power of x is square. The highest power, only we have to check the highest power. Here this is 1, 2, there 1. So which one is the highest? This is highest. So here the power, this is a quadratic polynomial. Write the example. What the example? Example can be written by yourself. There is only you have to keep in mind that while writing the quadratic polynomial, we have to keep in mind that the highest power of x, it have to be 2. So these are the example. 3x square plus 5x minus 8. Check the highest power. This is 2. Therefore this is a quadratic polynomial. 2x square minus 2 root 2. This is a root, doesn't matter, but we have to check the power of x only. So here square, here 1, highest power is a square, so this is a quadratic. This is root y square. This is in the form of y. It can be written in the form of x, it can be written in the form of y, it can be written in the form of z, it can be written in any of the alphabetical form. It doesn't matter, but we have to check it only the power. Here it is written in the form of y. Here what is the highest power? This is a square and this is the 1, so this is the quadratic polynomial. Now cubic. What is the cubic polynomial? We have to check only the power when a polynomial whose power is this is cubic polynomial. A polynomial of degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. A polynomial of degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. So this is a cubic polynomial. A cubic polynomial is always written in the form of, that is always we write p of x is equal to a x cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. What is the highest power? 3. So this is a cubic polynomial. A cannot be a 0. These are the example. There is 2x square minus 2x cube minus 3x square plus 8x plus 1. So here check the highest power. All are the power of the x are in the form of natural number, and this is the highest power is 3. So this is a cubic polynomial. Come to the next example. Root 2 y cube minus 2y square plus y minus 8. This is given in the form of y. It doesn't matter. It is also a polynomial. Polynomial can be written for in the y, in the form of x, in the form of z. It doesn't matter. Only we have to check the power. So here all the power are in the positive, that is in the form of natural number, and only check the highest power. Here highest power is a 3. Highest power is 3. So 3 to 1. So highest power is 3. This is a cubic. This is this equation is written in the form of z, that is z cube plus 2z square minus root 3z plus 3. So this is in the form of z, and highest power is 3. Highest power is 3. This is a cubic. Now after that we have a biquadratic. Biquadratic is when its power is 4. A polynomial of degree 4 is called a biquadratic polynomial. Biquadratic polynomial. What is a biquadratic polynomial? When a polynomial has a degree 4, that is a biquadratic polynomial. What is a general form of a biquadratic polynomial? This is a general form of a biquadratic polynomial. There is a x raised to the power 4 plus b x raised to the power 3 plus c x square plus dx plus e. What is the highest power? 4, where a cannot be 0. So this is a biquadratic polynomial, and these are the example. That is 2x raised to the power 4 plus 3x cube minus 5x square plus 9x plus 1. It is written in the int x, and this now the highest power is 4. So this is biquadratic, and this is written in the form of y. 4y raised to the power 4 minus 5 y raised to the power 3 plus 6 y square minus 8 y plus 3. It is written in the form of y, but check the highest power. All the power are in the positive, and the highest power is 4. So this is a biquadratic polynomial. Now what are the zeros of the polynomial? Whenever any equation satisfies the equation and putting that value. Okay, what is the zeros of the polynomial? If it is the equation, and if you put any value of x and this equation became 0, then will be the zeros of the polynomial. So these are the zeros. We need the zeros of the polynomial. Especially we need it here. In this chapter in polynomial, we are going to deal with in our syllabus only it is given that a quadratic polynomial. We were going to solve the quadratic polynomial. What is a quadratic polynomial? When the highest power is 2, that will be the quadratic polynomial. Now come to here. What is this is the zeros of the polynomial. A real number alpha is called the zeros of the polynomial if p of alpha equal to 0. Means this is a quadratic equation. Let's take this is the example. There is a quadratic equation. If any equation satisfied, this is a quadratic equation. If we put any value of x and we got the result 0, then that value of x will be the zeros of the polynomial. That value of x will be the zeros of the polynomial. A real number alpha is called as zeros of a polynomial px if p of alpha is equal to 0. So if any value satisfies the equation and gives the result 0, that value of x will be the alpha. So that is the zeros of the polynomial. And these are all the revision of the class 9 already we dealt in the class 9. Now the main important of this chapter is relationship between zeros and the coefficient. That is relation between the zeros and the coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. What is it? Relation visible? I think so. Or relation between the zeros and coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. Now first, how the quadratic polynomial is written as? Quadratic polynomial is written as always p of x is equal to a x square plus b of x plus c. That is a does not equal to 0. If we solve this equation, that is p of x is equal to 0, a x square plus b x plus c equal to 0. If we solve this, we will get the two values of x. That value of x will be two values of x. That value of x will be, one will be alpha and one will be beta. That value of x we call as zeros of polynomial. Zeros of polynomial. Why we got the two values of x? Zeros of the polynomial, there is alpha and beta. Why we got the two values of x? Because here if the highest power, if it is a quadratic polynomial, means if the highest power of x is 2, you will get the two values of x. Here this is a quadratic polynomial and the power is degrees 2, therefore you will get the two values of x. That value of x is will be written as the alpha and the beta. Now we have to find the relation, means now we have to know sum of zeros, that is sum of zeros. We have to find the sum of 0, that is we represent the zeros, that is alpha plus beta. Another sum of zeros, that is from the quadratic equation directly, that is minus b by a. What is the b? This coefficient b is the coefficient of, minus we can write coefficient of x, coefficient of x. And what is a? There is a coefficient of x square. What is the coefficient in front? The number which is in front of x square will be the coefficient of x square. The value which is in front of x, that will be the coefficient of x. And the constant, this is the constant. Nothing, there is no any x related, only the single, that will be the constant. So this is a, this is the coefficient of x square. So coefficient of x square. These two results will be always equal. That is the relation. Sum of zeros, if we add alpha and beta, that is 0 we got. And sum of zeros, if we find directly from the quadratic equation, that is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Now product. What do you mean with the product? Product of 0. Product of 0 means alpha multiplication, alpha into beta. Now we are going to find the direct from the quadratic equation, that is sum product of zeros. Product of zeros equal to c by a, constant divided by a. that is constant term, constant divided by coefficient of x, coefficient of x square, coefficient of x square, x square. Now you may wonder that how we got the value of alpha and the beta. The alpha and the beta, how we got the value of x, that is the question. When there is a quadratic equation, always we can solve by the middle term. So these are the important formula. Oh no, another mode is left. This is how we got, means we are going to find the sum of the zeros. We find the zeros of the polynomial when the quadratic equation is given, and we find a relationship. Now if the whose zeros and the alpha zeros are given, here we find the zeros of the polynomial and we find a relationship. Now if the zeros of the polynomial are given, then we have to find a quadratic equation. So that is a quadratic equation, QUA, quadratic equation, quadratic equation whose zeros are alpha and zeros always represented by the alpha and beta. These are we call the Greek alphabet is given by, we write p of x is equal to x square minus alpha plus beta, that is sum of zeros plus product of 0, alpha into beta. It can be written as, this is the statement, now I will write in the form of statement, that is x square minus sum of zeros into x plus product of zeros, product of 0. This is in the direct formula form, in the form of alpha and beta given, and this is the meaning are same, and this I read in the statement to remember it, that is x square minus sum of zeros into x plus product of 0. Be careful here, the sign is always a negative.